Okay. All right, guys, let's get started. Good evening. I'm Dawn Thompson, and welcome to the Truth Tribe. And I appreciate you all for being here. You are all perfect exactly where you are in this now moment. Remember, there's nothing wrong with you. As much as we talk about things and I push your buttons and I open your minds to things that might not be as comfortable, there's nothing wrong with you. You're experiencing exactly what you need to experience. And remember that I love you all very much. What's going on right now is that the dark side of awakening, the dark side of things that are coming out right now. What I want everyone to remember is that none of this stuff surprises me. And so when people are like, Dawn, what's happening? Why is this happening? Where is this coming from? None of it surprises me because it is so clear as day why we're all struggling to awaken, right? Why are so many people struggling to awaken into seeing truth, seeing reality for what it is, right? And the reason I bring that up is because you're focused on one thing. That's really, we don't really have to have the rest of the call tonight, right? You're focused on one thing instead of patterns of things that don't fit. And so you're all looking for rainbows and not the darkness that you're avoiding, which is the pattern of things that we're trying to look at. The abundance of reality checks that we keep getting and all the synchronicities and all the things that keep showing up aren't typically pretty, and they aren't typically gentle, right, on us. And so it's harder for us to look at. So what I wanted to do tonight was to talk about what most people don't like talking about, which is the dark side of spiritual awakening, right? What is the dark side? Because we're not looking at it. Don't we? You know, why? And I get so worked up on this topic. So if I start digressing, please pardon me already. We are afraid to ask why. Why the fuck would we do that? That's all I want you guys to start asking yourselves. Why the fuck would we do that? Do it that way, right? When we don't listen to our deep intuition, we fall for repetition. If you don't listen to your deep intuition, and we all have it, we fall for a repetition, okay? And you have repeatedly been taught, you suck, you're sick, you're small, to name a few, okay? So it's now a challenge that we all have to teach yourself. You have to look at ourselves and we have to go, you have to teach yourself. You have power to program yourselves to achieve anything you desire, anything, right? And it's evident when you now know who you are, right? You stop accepting suffering as the source of compatibility. And that is a big deal right now because most people accept suffering as their way to connect. Why would we use pain to be compatible with someone, right? Because we need a reference point to connect. Have you ever thought about that? We need something to connect with people, and we got to find something in common, and most people are miserable, right? So if that's all you know, that's what you will discuss. And what you don't have, that's what we're going to discuss instead of what you do want. And you have to stop worshiping suffering and pain and letting that be your connection, right? So you must not fear the pain, as this is the darkness that shows up, as it's your passage to healing, to wholeness, to getting yourself to wholeness. Each person's power is always revealed, you guys, in each soul in different ways, which is why I bring it up every call, right? So most see what's easy, and they want to look for the easiest route to get there. They're looking for rainbows and unicorns and these easy, trendy meditations and yogas and beads and crystals and prayers. Don't get me wrong, they all count. But we're avoiding what is needed, which is to see the darkness or pain that you're avoiding is truth. Truth is in darkness. It is not in the rainbows, as much as I wish it was, because I love it, right? So this is the reality of spiritual awakening. This is the part that no one tells you about. You hear only of like light and love and fairies and utopia reality with rainbows. And I've told you guys, A new earth is coming, a better earth is coming, but that's what they're looking for. And then all of a sudden, ta-da, in comes the painful shit that we're all avoiding. And when it hits, it's like, what is happening to me? Right? What the fuck is going on? You are evolving into a spiritual warrior mode. And because you are, you have to start going, oh, but we assumed it'd all be this glamorous and gentle, and we're investigating, and oh, we're looking at higher spiritual truth for all these last 100 years. Awakening is not gentle. And you want to know awakening is? Awakening is COVID. Awakening is emotional sadness, anxiety, physical pain, loneliness, and more. It just goes on and on, right? Yes, it hurts, whatever that thing is. So it's time to ask, are you in spiritual warrior mode, or are you in spiritual poverty mode? Because spiritual awakening is not for softies. All right. It is for those who are ready to see darkness, and not just in the world, but within ourselves, not just within the world around you. Right. So putting your head up and lighting the reality that you're in around you reveals things that you've been avoiding, things that you must up your game in. You cannot escape your reality, and you didn't come here to ignore choices that you made in the name of God. Right. And this one is a big one for me, right? This whole religion stuff. Oh, God will save me. No, God will remind you, you are here to complete your tasks, and you are energy that can be manipulated by you or others, and manipulated for good or for not so good. Right? So none of this is woo-woo shit. And I get so tripped up like, ooh, just pray to God and God will show up and save my ass. Not going to happen. And it's why I use the word spiritual so lightly in these discussions, because it's distorted in this metaphysical and spiritual and religious groups, right? Awakening is not some magic light show in the sky, you guys, and then bam, all like all life is better. This is warrior shit that you're looking at your own life and asking, what isn't working? And do you really want it to be better? Because I'm telling you, as sadly as this is true, many are talking, but don't really want to do the work. Many are talking about all this spiritual enlightenment shit, but they don't really want to do the work, because spiritual warrior, that path is looking at some scary, dark shit. And I mean, even in the world, right? Because then when you're waking up to the idea that you've been in this bullshit trance most of your life, believing you had no power to change, that's the darkness I'm talking about, that no one wants to talk about. To change your education, to change your location, your health, your love, your whatever, the finances. And so the good news is, as scared as many are, that are expressing by looking outside of themselves, right? I'm so afraid to look out there. It's as if I've shared I've shared this with you guys, I don't know, 5 years at least. The earth keeps getting better. And I keep saying that, and they're like, well, I don't see it getting better. The boxes that I've shared with you all are in fact burning to the ground. And it's simply indicating who's choosing to get lost and what they've been told by strangers for thousands of years. Strangers who do not have your highest good, by the way, right? They don't have your highest good in mind. And so when that happens and we're like, well, do they really? The boxes that are burning down are all just different types of boxes. Strangers who have not had your highest good in mind, yet they're choosing what you want and finding. If you're not choosing what you want, they're choosing what you want. And if you're not finding a way to free yourself from societal control structures, like things that you've never liked, but then you accept that as truth, that's the dark side I'm talking about. Now, what if you've been told something is not truth? I want you to think of it like this, okay? This is where your darkness is going to come in, and it's creating a feeling of living a lie. So I want you guys to think about that the rest of this call, okay? So your life like your whole life, all this stuff that's coming up, and I don't want to look at it, but when I do look, I'm like, oh, that can't be true. Why? Because if it's true, your life is a lie. Not true. But I just want you to think of it, because that's what it brings out of us. So your meaning of life, why you all came here with these superpowers at this time in life, your meaning of life is to prove you are more than the lie you were offered. Nothing has changed in all your lifetimes of coming onto the planet, but your ability to determine the truth faster than you ever could, and decide what you deserve. Okay. And so when you're healing anything, you guys, okay, and physical illness, which is a big deal right now, a status or belief system, so beliefs or physical reality, your physical pain, okay, the first step I want you all to stop identifying with is stop identifying with it physically or mentally. All right. You cannot make it define you. You are so much more than my status in life, my disease, my anxiety, my depression. Every time you say it, you literally affirm that thing to be part of you forever. Okay, so there is a caste system. Everybody's like, oh, they have a caste system in that country. There is a caste system in every continent, in every freaking company, in every family on the planet. Do you accept it? Right? There is a caste system in every school indoctrination system on the planet that includes grades. Do you accept it? There is a hierarchy in every system on this earth, until you all wake the fuck up. But most don't want to see it. We're not like that. Oh, the fuck you aren't. You're absolutely. Someone said, repeat, please. There is a caste system. The caste system, they're better. We'll never achieve that. We'll never get to that part. Right? And so my point is you have to stop identifying with physical or mental shit that people keep telling you you're that. You have to stop it. And so literally every time you say that I'm this, I'm this status, you affirm that to be part of your cellular makeup and your body and your debris for a lifetime, forever. So there is this hierarchy in every system on earth until you wake up. Okay. And so most don't want to see this. This is the dark side of spiritual awakening. I want you to ask yourself, why are we doing any of this when it makes zero logic or freedom of choice? Because if you aren't asking, what about this shit doesn't add up, you're still asleep. All I want you to do is ask that. Okay. So how you see one thing very clearly? This is what's been getting to me. People are very adamant about their thought about something, their belief in something, right? So how you see very clearly on one thing that's truth, and then you don't apply it to the whole picture, right? That's what I don't get, because you see what is easy. You don't see what is needed. And so if you're starting to open up to one truth, I want you to understand that one truth applies to everything on the planet. Okay? Because I see people focusing on things like, here's a good example. Green living, grass-fed, zero hormones, zero GMO food. But they're so intent on traveling somewhere, this was last year, that you'll go get the jab, that you've done zero research on what toxic debris is in that. So how you do anything is not how you do everything. I'm going to eat healthy and be pretty clean and what goes into my system, but I'm not going to be clean about how I travel. So how you do anything has to be how you do everything. Or if you're going to do everything miserable, do everything miserable, but don't just do one thing miserable. So if you, then I tell people, okay, well, so you did get the poke. It does have toxic debris in it. Maybe you have taken it mistakenly, unknowingly, not knowing the downsides of it. That's okay. What are you willing to research to remove it from your body? Are you afraid to see the darkness you avoided? Doesn't make it wrong. I'm just trying to teach you all. You're not looking at everything from the same perspective. So the question appears, how much power do you want to live within yourself? How afraid are you to tell your spouse or a family member who you want to be? Are you afraid to see that your kid is not ADHD like they are telling you, and that they're just simply like this super brilliant lighthouse bright soul, not adhering to the old indoctrination system, and that your kid is probably quantum smart and bored as fuck with this stupid slow teachers that they have to sit through every day? Ever thought of that? Your body isn't sick. It's in need of purging toxins, and its pain is a result of detoxing naturally, causing you to feel the toxic release so you can enjoy the body more instead of the old. You're not stupid. Stop believing this. You're not stupid for asking, why would I give my newborn 10 toxic shots the doctor says is good when it hurts my child? When they're perfect and pristine from source God consciousness, but we're going to go put stuff in them that the doctor knows better. Why would I accept people telling me what I want is irrational when it's simply what I want? Why? Guys, ask yourself these basic logical questions. Here's a good one. This one came to me recently. I'm going to throw shit at you guys tonight. Why were there no flu tests for 2 years? And now the flu test is combined into one test. So now the flu is back by magic. Magically, the flu just appeared again. And now you can take a test, get COVID, flu, all in one special kit. For one test, you get it all, but you couldn't get that 2 years ago. And my point is, I could give a shit less about what test, because I would never take one to prove I don't feel good. I already know I don't feel good. If I don't feel well, I use my kick my any butt protocol. I could give a shit less what it's called. Here's another one. If the religion boxes really crumble, and they are, how will you believe in God? If medicine crashes, as it is right now, and you get sick, what will you do? Do you have a plan? If education is found out to be the bullshit scam that it is, what will you do to live your soul's truth and actually go get real information that you want that'll make you a badass? What if the government is a total scam and no one is coming to save you? What will you do? If your career is up in the air, what will you do differently if you could? Unlearning this lack education and replacing it with what you want to learn. The religion box that has been in control, and your access to God should piss you the fuck off. Oh my God, if this religion doctrines aren't true, what will I do for spiritual truth in place of the dark side of religion that's been so fucking controlling you of your money and how you connect to God? It's insanity, and we're all accepting it, right? If you see medicine has been making you sick, you would be so angry. That's the dark side. We don't want to see it, because if we see it, we will be pissed off. What's fascinating is why this isn't a question everyone is asking. That's what fascinates me every damn day of my life. Why no one even, I'm not telling you to throw your life overboard. I'm just saying you're not asking questions because you're avoiding waking up and shedding light on a truth that can possibly crumble your entire existence. And if that's true, either the last 2 years or the last 20 years, if they're a lie, if so, then what? You will feel like you're walking in the dark. This is the dark side of awakening. It's the scary shit we aren't discussing in this awakening. This is why spiritual awakening is not for the faint of heart, my friends. This is the truth on spiritual awakening. Seeing dark is scary, but oh, it's so freeing. It's the scary shit that has the power to catapult you into the new world. So ask yourself, are you a spiritual warrior, or are you in spiritual poverty still? Because the dark side is seeing old trauma that you have avoided in the world that is also in you. The dark is not negative. It is necessary to wake up. It is necessary to look at it and go, okay, well, if it's not true, What would I do? That's the what would you do part is the freedom part. Can you tap into knowing yourself? Right? There are two tips here. Spiritual warrior mode are detoxing and deserving. Can you detox old anything, the old boxes of anything, and are you deserving to have a better thing? So if you're in spiritual warrior mode, you're detoxing the shit and you're looking at it going, oh, hell no. And you're deserving of more. Hi, beautiful. You must want freedom more than you want to avoid your painful programming. It's just where we are, my friends. You have to want to be free. You have to want to live out of your truth more than you want to fit in. You must be willing to live deserving more than deserving of misery and associating with it and connecting with it and just thriving in it because your pain is what connects you to people. So no matter what, why, you won't ask why. That's the matter of this whole conversation is tonight. Why won't I ask why on whatever topic, okay? Warriors expect dark. Y'all just have to expect dark is going to show up. And then you know that your light is so powerful that it will create clarity in any experience. Okay, so spiritual poverty will say, this is all there is. This is just the way it is. This is what they told me. And so will you live in a reality created for you by you or for you by someone else? And it can be in your marriage, your kids, your career, in your home, in your grocery shopping, in your health, in your mirror talk, brushing your teeth. Right? You are the cause and effect of your reality by detoxing every cell and deserving of your reality. How you do anything is how you do every single thing. So who are you? Who really, really are you inside? Do you even know? You are still sleeping when you are people, when you're thinking about the people who are So I want you to think about this. If you're feeling people pull away from you and you're like, I just don't know why. I don't understand why people are leaving or don't want to talk to me or don't want to connect to me, because you're still asleep and they can't take it anymore. Because you aren't ready to ask why and see the darkness you're afraid to see inside your energy projection. You will awaken when you're okay with yourself pulling away from all the distorted and untrue for you. Darkness won't scare it won't scare you when you're in warrior mode. You have to see this. So the tips to raise your consciousness tonight. What darkness do you avoid of your own? How bad do you want it? Number 2, why won't you ask why? Right? What is every possible way to fix it in and out of the box? And then number 3, I'm going to give you guys a detoxing mantra. Okay, let's detox the darkness mantra. By the way, this is in if you just log into your Truth Tribe dashboard or your spiritual or your warrior path dashboard on the tools, just click on it. This mantra is there. You can save it on your phone or download it. But I want you guys to repeat after me. Okay, we're going to detox the darkness mantra tonight. This is a mantra I want you to repeat just to yourself in the mirror. Okay, repeat after me, tapping into your chest. God, angels, spirit guides, light my DNA, purify me, and transmute all and any toxicity in any direction of time, space, or parallel realities. Deliver an immediate and clear solution to my challenges so they are solved now and for good. I am love. I am light. This mantra, by the way, is in the tools. All you got to do is open it. It's a little white tile toolbox. God, angels, spirit guides, light my DNA, purify me, and transmute all and any toxicity in any direction of time and space or parallel realities. To deliver an immediate and clear solution to my challenges so they are solved now and for good. I am light and love. You don't need to dwindle in this whole misery of bullshit for the rest of your life. Just ask source and consciousness to end it now and move on to what you deserve. But we have to ask, why am I putting up with this bullshit? Do you guys get it? I don't know why everybody's telling me you can't hear me on Facebook. Well, that's kind of weird, don't you think? I'm not quite sure. It's probably because I have brought up some words. If I have, I apologize, because I'm not sure why. Can you guys still hear me? Yeah? Okay, now you can. Okay, cool. Just making sure. All right. So let's move into the planetary update, okay? And then I bleeped just for a second. I know it's probably just my internet, but I'm back. Okay. Planetary update. I'm not going to get into a whole lot until next week. We've got another moon coming, and I'm going to discuss that on the 7th, I think, in Gemini, okay? But again, that'll be into next week. What I wanted to share with you guys is why we're getting so delusional and stuff, okay? Neptune is finally going direct, okay? And it's been non-direct for, or not non-direct, it's been going retrograde, like just like Mercury would go retrograde, okay? So Neptune will be finally going direct on Saturday, which is like in a few days. For Neptune, that's like super close, so it's already happening, okay? Neptune is the ruling planet of Pisces, and it's also conjunct the planet of Jupiter, which is expansion and good luck, okay? So Neptune on the astral plane helps us to open our hearts and get creative beyond the material, the kind of the materialistic 3D density realities, because Neptune rules the mental, the spiritual, intuitive, the mind, okay, what we can think of. So when it starts moving, it was going backwards, right, or kind of retrograding. So when it moves forward, it asks us to soften our edges that have been created by the Saturn energy for so long, you guys, because it was going backwards, okay? Neptune is the divine feminine, the nurturer, the creative, when it's high frequency. When it's low frequency, it's the weak side of Neptune, is also the victim, the martyr, the addict, the suffering. And so we must use the high frequency of this visionary dreamer to release ourselves from this old delusion and suffering programming that we've been given. So it represents the urge within us to merge with something bigger than yourself, you guys. Once it moves forward, you have to be careful not to get lost in this psychic fog, creating confusion and deception by getting lost in all the analytical details that Pisces likes to get. They can be known for over-analyzing because they want to prove that they're being seen. So like, look at this detail, look at that detail, look at this detail. So you're focusing on one. And I'm trying to tell you, use the Piscean Neptune energy, right? That says, oh, instead of seeing only one thing, I need to see Neptune and see everything in its creativity of how I can get out of this. Because Neptune is also square these other two planets, Mars and Venus. Mars is in Gemini communication, and Venus is in love and money and beauty. And it's asking you to take nothing at face value because it can give you a delusion, which is why I've been harping on everything you've been told is not what it seems. It's not what it seems like it looks like. So don't fall for this bullshit that doesn't make any sense. And then you're not asking, well, that doesn't make any sense. No shit. That's what I've been trying to tell you. It wants you to ask why, right? Because many can't see the truth that's being unraveled because they're looking at it from the 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And we're not looking at the unraveling and exposing what it really is on the energetic, etheric level, on the global level we've talked about. We've been starting to break open. After the new year, it's going to keep breaking open into new insights. But right now, guys, December is this month of constant flux where we're feeling like these strange sliding door moments, right? Like if I choose this or if I choose that. That's that Neptune, Pisces, flip-flop, insecurity, wishy-washy, choose, don't choose, right? So if I walk down that road, or do I walk down this road, right? Inconsequential choices that seem to permanently alter the trajectory of future events. It seems inconsequential, but it really needs clarity. So feeling like we're out of control, yet Neptune is saying you have control of what you choose your reality to look like. The question is what will you choose to fine tune your attention to? What do you want? Do you want to live in that diluted, controlled reality, or do you want to pick something bigger? Pay attention to the symbols that are coming in, the synchronicities, your gut reaction, your nighttime dreams, all these nudges from the universe, Neptunian, wanting to help you get clarity, but you have to decide the kind of life you want to live. This is happening and you can feel it. And everybody's kind of like, why do I feel confused yet? I have to clearly choose at the same time. This is why. Okay, everybody here, tap into your thymus right here. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. One more time. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. Your challenge tonight and through the next week. What boxes ending makes you question your reality of like your new truth? Like, if I let that end, what do I really pick? Like, what do I do? What do I need to know? Because it's how you do anything is how you do everything in this new challenge. So the question that I want you guys to start popping into the Q&A is, who can see darkness in a new light tonight? Who can see that when darkness shows up, it's literally for you to start saying, I don't like that. That's good for me, right? Because if I don't like it, it's asking you to go, have I been doing this just because it's been societal bullshit programming forever and it doesn't work? I've been just accepting the consequences of shit because it doesn't work, but I don't want it. So I want you guys to drop into the Q&A here. Who can see darkness now in a new light going, if I don't understand that, why aren't I asking, why is it that way? Minimal. Right? Because it's something that we are avoiding in our lives and saying, but if it wasn't that way, what way would I want it to be? How do I jump on this Neptune and this Jupiter kind of wave? Join that wave. So how much do you ask yourself, right? So, okay, this is one that came up. How is religion been a lie? How has religion been a lie? Okay, guys, I bring up all of the boxes. So religion is just the big one for me because I have called bullshit on it for forever, right? Since I've known it, right? Not God, okay? Why are people struggling with religion being a lie? Go to the basics. It's not just religion, right? This is where I'm asking you guys to see this big clarity vision. It's just the hardest to believe because it's in the name of God, right? No one is asking when we talk about the boxed religion, who wrote it? Did God write it? Did a man write it? Who wrote all these versions of these doctrines? Men? Did you see any women writing them? Why aren't we asking that? I'm not talking about this whole, feminism bullshit. I don't believe in that. I'm talking about God, right? We're doing this all in the name of God. We're fighting, we're hurting, we're judging, we're critiquing. No one asks in these huge churches, where's all the money going? That's a lot of freaking money we give. And we're doing it, making ourselves more poor, and they're getting a lot of money. And yet all these people in this organization are still poor and not eating and struggling. No one questions that zero religions have women leaders. And I mean big leaders that you can think of. Feminine is now being tortured to crush the divine creation, right? We aren't celebrating the divine in women. You have to go bigger. You have to look at how the divine light will be to reveal how much dark has been going on in the sense of who do you want to be? We have to look at from creation. Who do we choose to create? This isn't fake feminism. It's diluted reality, right? Feminism is being pushed, someone just said, onto men. It absolutely is. I'm not talking about that. I don't give a shit about rules and judgment. What I'm trying to talk about is religion is controlling how you access consciousness and God and divine and other Palladian, other universal galaxies. There's thousands of Earths in the galaxies that are beyond us. Yet we're told there's only one. You're not asking why. You're not asking about the source God consciousness inside of you, in your DNA. You're not asking. You're saying that one box is my safe zone. So religion, the religious section of teaching you that there are all these different religions, yet no one seems to be free. Yet no one is talking about the negative things that have gone down in the name of religion. Yet God has never been accessed and said we don't need religion. We need to access source consciousness within ourselves. So because that scares people, because it's so long in its creation, go back to the Roman Empire. Go back to see when the Roman Catholic Church was created. It was to control people. It was to control the mystics in the marketplace. It was to control your money. It was controlling your tithing. It was getting your money back. It was saying, if you don't believe this, you will die. They didn't care if you knew how to get to God on your own. They didn't care if you had a healing capacity to psychically talk to source consciousness and God consciousness back in the Roman Empire. They cared to control you. And yet no one goes back far enough to ask this shit. And I'm not talking about God ever. I am, like I told you guys, I talk to God all the time, to source consciousness. We have to ask better questions. So these questions are things that if you're not asking it from the religion aspect, you're not asking it from the medical aspect. You're not going deep enough there. You're not going deep enough in the children, in education. You're not going deep enough. Ask. Ask, why would I accept this bullshit? When it does nothing to make me a better person, happier, healthier, connected to people and bringing in love and communal. If we're going there, it just looks scary because you're afraid to expand. Okay, keep going, you guys. If you have any more questions, these are good. Any more questions that I can, again, it doesn't have to be on the topic of the darkness, but this is the stuff people are afraid to talk about. They're afraid to see the truth. Right? So I don't really understand this question. Is this all new and that's why we're lost? Okay. I hope I answer this the way this person is asking. Funny, what I want you guys to understand is nothing that's happening right now is new. Okay. I was just talking to a friend today about this. I was talking to my husband about this. I've talked to my friend about this. Talked to a lot of people about this. Okay. Nothing you're experiencing on the planet right now is new. Okay, so I want you to imagine that it's just faster and easier to get to the truth. That's what's happening while we're going into this truth awakening, i.e. the truth tribe, the truth being revealed to everybody. Okay, think of it from this perspective. This is funny. She just brought it up. This is what I'm going to ask you. So I want you to imagine the horsemen back in the day when we only had a horse to get us from A to B, from one town to the next. And so I want you to imagine it's like the horseman riding with a telegram that you had to write onto a piece of paper, okay? And you're the person that's delivering this crucial information so that town goes, oh, if we do this, we'll live, or we'll be safe, or we'll know how to go and hide, or heal our town with using this special herb. These pine needles off the trees, if we boil them and drink them, we'll stay alive and safe. But you don't know it till the person that brings the telegram on a piece of paper on their horse and goes for days, maybe even weeks to get to the other town to give them the telegram message, right? Now I want you to catapult yourself thousands of years now into the now. Now we have quantum connecting with phones, with psychic, with our telepathy, with our intuition, and now we can connect to hundreds of thousands of people all in 1 second. You can go on the Telegram app, on all the social media apps, on your email, on everything, and include thousands of people into one email, one Telegram. One sent a message to thousands of people, and they go, oh, that's the truth? Yes. So nothing is different, my friends. It's just that Those who have controlled you for so long can't keep up with hiding the truth anymore because we're too fast. So the quantum field has helped you catapult information of truth to get to you faster. That's it. It's just helping you get to where you're trying to get to of truth for yourself now to connect to God faster. Now people are going, look, the mystics in the marketplace who got burned at the stake from religion back in the Roman Empire. If you're connecting to God or you're healing people naturally, you will die because that is not what we told you is safe. Well, now we can do that and tell you how to heal yourself fast without getting caught, because we can tell you fast and they can't keep up with it because there's too many of us sharing it. So it's the horse or the phone. So you either had to go with slow delivery of the telegram, or now it's like immediate. And now we're going to move from immediate phones to immediate telepathy, immediate talking to people. And I know you all know this because it's when you've had a thought of a friend and all of a sudden they text you or call you, and you're like, well, I was just thinking about you. That's where we're going to the next generation. In the next 5 to 10 years, you'll all be starting to enhance and expand your telepathy. So are we going to the next level? Yes. We're not lost. You're just awakening to the truth of what was always inside of you. You just didn't know you could because you had to use a horse. And now you don't have to use a horse. Now you can go deep dive into all this and get it all information that you needed quantum fast. Quantum learning, quantum spirit, quantum connecting to source, quantum connecting to many gods, to many source God consciousness levels, to your spirit guides, to frequency healing. Instead of just focusing on one body part and one physicality, you're focusing on the frequency of your cells so that they cannot hold toxicity and germs and pain anymore. So thus why we've expanded. Thus why we're expanding right now. Does this make sense, my friends? Nothing is different aside from your ability to go, okay, I'm willing to see the truth now. Can I go look at it? And all these people are helping you see truth. So it's just faster. And so no one can control you anymore because you're way ahead of them. That's 5D. We went from 3D density with 4D energy of people and energies and entities controlling that, and you couldn't figure out how to get out of it. Well, now you catapulted up to 5D of telepathy and quantum and energy connecting. There's no way out of it. This is where we're going. So isn't this awesome? But you're going to have to ask, why do I settle with that old bullshit? It's just because it's patterns. It's old pattern programming. Okay. Not all the Bible is bad. There are a lot of sacred things in it, especially in books found in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Yes, we haven't had the whole truth given to us, but not the entire Bible is a lie. Do you agree? 100% I agree with her. 100%. My point is why aren't we asking questions about the parts that are a lie? And then why aren't we going exactly where she said? Why can't we start learning about the Dead Sea Scrolls? Huh? She's absolutely brilliantly on the mark. But we don't talk about that. We just talk about these doctrines. People ask about religion. I'm talking about the basic doctrines. Most people don't know in the Quran, there's a section in there where it says it's okay to lightly beat your wife. Now, please tell me any God that is true divine source consciousness, God consciousness, would never encourage someone to beat another human being, lightly or otherwise. It's bullshit and it's made up. Now, are the Dead Sea Scrolls beautifully written? Yes. And is there stuff missing that is put into these doctrines? I don't care if it's the Quran. I don't care if it is in Buddhism, if it is in the Bible, if it is in the Torah. I don't care where you're at. I want you to understand that we have to open up the Book of Mormon. So what happened? Yes, to Jesus for like 30 years. I totally agree. We have to talk about the essence and where he was and where he learned when he was with the essence. I'm not going to go down the religious path with a lot of you. I've researched a lot of this. This is why I get very tripped up by it. So she's 100% right. Jesus, when he was 18 through like 20 some, through like his late 20s, he disappeared. No, he didn't. He was learning with the Essens, who were psychics, intuitives, all the things you're told that don't exist. That's why he was such a natural healer. He was a Reiki master before his time. But we're not allowed to learn that, are we? We're allowed to only learn from the books that torture people or tell you you're a sinner. And I'm using, I know, because religion's coming up here. So please don't take it that, like I said, religion has been a lie in how it has been controlling you. But there are some beautiful writings in there. It just got distorted so you would listen and follow along. And you wouldn't question living your highest truth with God consciousness and your powers, your psychic abilities, your spiritual abilities, your intuitive abilities, your energy healing capacity, the fact that you are all Reiki masters. You just don't know it yet because you don't know how. No one taught you. These kids coming in now, these brilliant they're labeling ADHD, which breaks my heart because they're not. They're fucking quantum learners. They're bored out of their freaking brains with all these stupid teachers trying to tell them, let's memorize this. It's stupid. And y'all know it. So take your kids out of school, put them in a quantum healing, teaching, learning class, and watch what happens. Your kids will be ahead of the curve in the next 5 to 10 years. They will be the next masters. I know, I get tripped up on the kids. It really pisses me off when people don't listen to their kids and they're telling you what I'm learning is stupid shit. And it is. Medicine. They were bamboozled. Doctors, that's not their fault. They didn't know any better. They went and were told this is what you need to learn. And my answer is there's both. There's both good in Bible and the bad in the Bible, in the doctrines of religious. There's good in medicine and there's not so good in medicine. There's good in education and there's not so good. We have to find it, guys, but you've got to ask why. You have to ask, why am I doing that if this would be a lot easier and faster? And quantum, like a phone. So my question is I'm glad we brought this question, whoever brought this question up, about are we lost because it's new? No. Are you living on the horse or are you living in the quantum? It's that's the best question we had to complete tonight's discussion. Are you riding the horse to get to the information? You can still do that. Don't get me wrong. It's just going to take you a little longer. And you're going to be pissed off that you're going to be behind. Okay, so what a difference it made when I started listening to my kids. They told me they were not learning to test, not to actually learn. They were learning to test, not to learn. Yes, exactly. And that's the whole point. They're learning to take a stupid test to see, again, are they going to match up in the hierarchy in this caste system? If they get a D, are they low on the caste system of education? And if they get an A++, now there's like A++, not even A's. So are you up on the hierarchy of the education system? It's bullshit, because some of the most brilliant, most successful, financially billionaires have never graduated high school. I'm trying to get you guys to wake up. And it's not a right or wrong. So whether it is in your religion, whether it's in your romance, whether it's in your education, whether it's in your health, and we're not asking better freaking questions, this is going to piss you off and it's going to hurt. And when it does, you're going to go, oh, thank God, I get it. Okay, it's darkness. It's truth I didn't want to look at. In family, we're like so afraid to admit that that family member is really in a dark place and heavy. You don't fix them, but you also have to stop judging them. Leave them alone. We're not looking at people from where they are and letting them choose to come out of the darkness, because you're the one not willing to see it. You're the one that's not willing to. We've got to stop fixing people and letting them be in their truth. When it is painful enough, they'll come out. Because clearly we're not wanting to live the way we used to, because all the boxes are crumbling. So I say we start a school on the Dead Sea Scrolls. How about that one? I'm all for it. She's 100% on the mark on that one. So yes, I'm in. I'll go teach that class with you. I'll go let that be one of the kids' student classes for the future of religion. So again, we have to stop asking, is this just the way it is? I guess I'm just going to do it. We have to start asking, what do you want? And what will it take for you to get it? And there is plenty of information out there now, and it's free. Does that help, guys? To help you start to see the dark side of spiritual awakening is truth, and truth does not fend well with a lot of people who are stuck in their habitual programmed belief systems. It's going to scare the shit out of you because you're going to think everything I've learned is a lie. It's not a lie in the sense of, it's just, you have to look at the portion of each one of those topics and say, I want to break out of the control version of it. I want to keep learning. I want to be an educated, I want to be an educated, brilliant person that learns at the next level. And I don't want to be told I have to have a test to know I know it well. What happens when you say that there's info out there, but folks don't know about the Telegram or get options? Suggest how to find it? I tell people all the time, do you have a Telegram account? And they go, no. I go, okay, well, if you want me to send you stuff, I am happy to send stuff out of my Telegram. Why do we use Telegram? Because it's not censored. People ask all the time, why do I have us on the Truth Tribe and the Warrior Pass to have discussions about this stuff on Telegram? Why do we have our own Telegram account in your portal? Because I don't have to censor there. I can tell you health protocols. I can tell you about the Dead Sea Scrolls and about the essence and about Jesus and where he was when no one will talk about it. I can talk about Joseph and what he did for him and how he helped and how he was very wealthy and traveled all over. Come on, guys. We can talk about that there because we won't get in trouble. We won't get censored, but no one wants to talk about that you're being censored. I could give a shit less. No one wants to talk about it because we haven't heard of it. So if you haven't heard of Telegram, you say, hey, like you download your exercise app, the Under Armour or the Nike app to go running. Well, hey, here's Telegram. Download that and I'll send you stuff in there that you'll be able to see the whole quantum instead of the horse. That's the difference between digital, uncensored, sending information to everybody you know, or the horse. And you go, but I never heard of that. Okay, well, that's on you to decide. Yes, I'll get a Telegram account. Please send me everything you know on this topic. Some of you, it may be religion. Some of you, it may be health. Some of you, it may be education. Some of you, may be your kids. Some of you say, but I don't think I can handle homeschooling, but what can I do instead? Let's go find an alternative because there's tons. But we're not asking, what if my kid doesn't want to go to college? I think there are these brilliant resources out there where your kid could be a multimillionaire before those 4 years are over because they've chosen to take a different route and learn quantum, how to give themselves financial security. None of your topics go away, guys. None of your soul truth goes away. If you're a healer to stay for the rest of your lifetime. If you're a writer or you're a teacher, you're here to write and teach for the rest of your lifetime. If you're a builder, you're here to build. You're just here to expand it on the quantum. Right? So that's the difference. What I'm trying to teach you all is that you're here to bring art and you're here to bring inspiration to people through other ways. You're here to do it on the quantum, faster, easier. You're here to do the same thing you were doing before, but faster. Not faster like in a, oh my God, I'm stressed out, I got to do this way. Faster in a way that makes it easier for you to live the truth that came into your soul and not be mired down by all these rules and restrictions that have been going on for all these thousands of years that no one wants to look at. Again, I digress. I could keep going on these topics because they're all the same. How you do anything, if you are into healing, you better damn well be into healing or looking at alternative remedies in everything else that you do. You can't say I'm going to be into natural healing and natural remedies and then go put toxic substances in your body on other reasons because I want to be traveling. It doesn't, there's no logic in it. You have to do it across the board. You have to look across the board. Cool? All right, my loves. It was so good to see you tonight. We're going to start bringing up some more of this stuff that's coming up that people are afraid to talk about. It is time. And it is time to talk exactly what she brought up on religion. Why are we missing these topics? I want you guys to know. I want you to see it. I want you to understand that you're bigger than this because you're all freaking badass, spiritual warriors who are on war path, get out your swords, all of you, because we're on a rage, we're on a rampage, and we're all here to maverick ourselves into the new earth, the new future. And it's up to each of you to do it for you first. And when you do, you're going to be so much happier because you have freedom to live the truth you want and not what anyone's telling you. I love you all. I will see you guys on Monday. Brightest blessings. You guys have a great night, and find me if you need anything. Take care. Have a good night.